What's up, guys? Before we start the video, I want you guys to check out something that I was involved with. It was an honor to be invited. The Cannonball Run Countach documentary. You have to check it out. The guys at Haggerty's Drivers Foundation did such an incredible job. I didn't even think it was going to be this good, and I've watched it 2 or 3 times now. My brother Ed Bolian was in it, Vinny Russo from our team, and a ton of other historic people that were part of the original Cannonball Run. So check it out. The link is right here. I promise you, you are going to fall in love. What's up, guys? I am back. If you didn't know, I was actually out with COVID, but we are back here today. A little crazy mess here inside our restoration and service division. We actually just expanded a little bit more, and we are prepping not 1, not 2, but 6 cars for the famous Ferrari Cavallino show in Palm Beach. It's gonna be very exciting. We will do an awesome recap of that next week, but I am standing next to something that's really important for 2 reasons. One, we just sold this to one of the most famous YouTubers in the automotive space, Mr. Stradman, who's become a friend. I have to say, I really admire him for what he's done in his career and where he is today. And I'm super excited for him because this is a dream come true. This was his dream car, essentially. Like so many other people around the world, a white on white Countach. Now, the timing couldn't have been better. These cars have recently moved a lot in price. This past weekend, a car similar to this, much lower miles, about 2,000 kilometers, or let's say 1,200 miles. This car is right around 9,000 miles, still a very low mileage car, traded for $572,000, and it needed a lot of work. Very nice foundation, but it needs service and restoration, all these different things. And that brings up a great point about this specific car and what we're gonna be doing. Now, sitting behind me is actually another Countach engine. It's not from this car, but it's from an identical project car like this car, a white complete project that we will feature on our channel. We're doing absolutely everything. The car is completely gutted. The interior, every bolt, the engine sitting right there, and basically brakes, suspension, everything's gonna come off, and we're doing a complete restoration. And that was originally what we were planning to do for the Stradman James. And remarkably, I had mentioned to him about this car. He actually reached out to us about probably 8 months ago, maybe a year ago. He had mentioned that he was looking for some V12 manual transmission Lamborghinis. I couldn't help him at the time. I said I'd love to help him in any way I could, and he ended up buying a 40th anniversary Murcielago, which I'm very jealous about. We have yet to own one. It's one of my favorite Murcielagos produced. The color is so cool, and they're very rare, and to see one in the US today is unheard of. So little upset that he got that car and we didn't, but very happy for him nonetheless. And we had been back and forth, and he basically said to me, hey, when you find a white Countach driver or project, I want it, I'm interested. And I said, man, I would love to help you. So remarkably, after a few months of digging, this car came to light. And it's not a driver, it's not a project by any means. He actually got very, very lucky. It's a 9,000 mile car. The interior is very, very nice, original. It really just needs a cleaning. You can actually still see in the seats, it has the original Paratelli seats, which have these little indentations, so you can tell they're original. The shift knob needs to be redone. So the shift knob, we'll replace that original Alpine radio. The dash is not pulling. A lot of the times when these cars have sat in the heat, these sort of handmade Italian interiors do not last well. So they start to pull away from the windshield. They start to pull away from this line right here. Steering wheel is actually nice. The headliner is actually nice, original. So really this car cosmetically doesn't need too much. The outside of the car doesn't need much at all. It's an original USA spec car, and it actually is, if you look at the car, it actually has the Euro front bumper already installed on the car. It is missing the grills, so we have to fix that for him. But essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to be preparing this car, and behind us a major Countach project car, and we are going to share it with you guys, the full process of what it takes to make a Countach drivable. And why would you ask that? Well, we really believe in this next generation, and I think the reason I'm so excited that Stradman's getting this car is I think it's really important for young guys like himself and young guys that we're selling cars to now, you know, in their 40s, in their 30s, in their 50s, young guys, that this was sort of the picture of aspiration. This is what inspired them to become an entrepreneur. This is what inspired them to work hard. And I think the Countach really embodies a spirit from the 80s and 90s of these young guys who are now building collections or built a company or have done great things in their lives. And I think it's an exciting moment. You look at the future of cars that are coming out and you see all these hybrid cars and mass-produced cars. You know, the Countach and many cars that we sell represent some of the most iconic cars of our time. And I see a new generation of collectors that are looking for, you know, instead of maybe investing all their money in stocks or, you know, art, this is their version of art. This is their version of an alternative asset. These cars have, you know, proven safe over time, and what a way as you grow as a collector to purchase something that truly is art, and they are drivable. And I think that's exciting for me to see that he's going to be driving the car back to Utah. That's the whole purpose of these cars, and that's one of the reasons we did the Countach rally, to show that these cars are usable. There's been a lot of myths for a long time that, oh, Countaches are horrible and they're terrible. But what you guys will see with these next two projects that we will feature is they're actually really good cars. And the biggest issue is that when these cars got cheap, for many years, these cars were $70,000, $60,000, $100,000. People weren't maintaining them. So most Countaches have years of deferred service, and that really starts with things like, I mean, these are old tires. That actually has the original wheels and the wheel stickers, but these tires are from 2000, so the tires need to go. You know, cooling system needs to be gone through. The fuel system probably will need to be sent out and rebuilt. There's a Bosch fuel system that we will send out, have everything gone through, injectors, etc. And then you have things like gaskets in the engine. You have oil lines, different things that we like to change. They also have an ignition box at the back under the driver's side rear grille. There's a lot of heat generated from a Countach, and over years, if they got wet or anything like that, the ignition boxes go bad. So we'll discuss basically changing the ignition box on both cars. We'll also discuss the suspension, sort of the weak point of the car. The bushings go bad. I mean, any car, the bushings can go bad after 20, 30 years, but that's something we have to do on that, rebuild the brakes, and we'll basically go through everything else. The other thing that's sort of a weak point on these cars is the AC system. So one thing we do is we pull out all the original ducting, all the original hoses, and we replace everything to sort of, I would say, original but modern spec. And then the AC blows very, very cold. You ask anyone that's bought a Countach from Curated, these guys are freezing in their cars. They actually have to shut off the AC a lot of times. So we are super, super excited to start on this project. We're going to share both at the same time with you guys, and we're super excited to see Stradman driving this car in the next 2 months back to Utah. And I think it's really important for guys like him to be purchasing these cars and believe in the future of these cars. I see the next 10, 20, 30 years as an exciting time for young collectors and really for 80s and 90s supercars. Okay, so quick behind the scenes tour. This is the other Countach engine that's come out. This will be completely rebuilt. This car had a bad clutch, but was sort of sitting and it had some gunk in the bottom of the engine. So that will go out for a full rebuild. Monaco Countach, that's getting a final tune. And this is the other major project Countach that I think we spoke about. There won't be a piece of this car left original. This really needed everything: paint, interior, all the gaskets, all the bushings. If you guys want to take a quick look at basically what this interior looks like once it's gutted, we work with an incredible interior guy. We've talked about him before, Kenneth Michaels, and he's pulled the whole interior apart, and he's going to be doing this exactly the way it was when Bruno Paratelli originally did them for Lamborghini, using the correct leathers. And if you look, they have a really thin piping and a lot of interesting features. Engine is out, everything is going to be gutted, and the whole car will get stripped down and painted. This will be a very, very cool project, complete, nut and bolt restoration. And then behind us, yellow Enzo, 512 TR, the Mansell F40, and we have a few other cars coming for Cavallino prep. The countdown is on. I believe we're 4 or 5 days away, and we're almost there. The Enzo will be getting new headlights, the 512 TR, just a full sort of going around. Steven's working on the F40 and sort of concours detail, preparing that. And then we have the 355 Challenge car, which will show probably in the next couple weeks. One of the most winning 355 Challenge cars of all time, multi-championship winning car. Hot Wheels made toys of the car, and that will be finished for Cavallino as well. So super, super exciting stuff. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. We have a ton more great content coming behind the scenes for Cavallino. We are digging a Countach out of a barn in the next couple weeks, and we even are going to meet up with a good friend of ours, Ed Bolian, for a very fun project. So stay tuned, guys. Thank you again.